The stars burned quietly in the endless dark, unaware of what was about to begin. The galaxy had known peace for almost 100 years. Humans had finally earned respect among the many alien empires. Trade moved smoothly. Treaties were signed. Everyone believed that war was something only their ancestors would remember. But peace never lasts forever. It started with a single transmission, faint, broken, and full of static. A deep voice spoke from the darkness of space, warning of something coming. The signal came from the outer colonies, near the edge of human territory. No one believed it at first. The message was dismissed as a pirate trick or a damaged satellite. 3 days later, the first human colony went silent. The United Earth Command sent a small scout fleet to investigate. They expected to find wreckage or an asteroid strike. What they found instead froze every heartbeat on the command deck. The colony was gone, completely gone. Buildings turned to ash, ships melted into metal dust. There were no bodies. Only deep, burned marks across the planet's surface, like something enormous had scraped it clean. Captain Rian Holt, commander of the scout ship Argos, couldn't understand it. "This wasn't done by any weapon we know," he said quietly. "Something else did this." A young officer whispered, "Something." "Alive?" Before anyone could answer, the radar beeped. Strange energy signatures appeared on their screens. Then, out of the empty blackness, alien ships emerged, sleek, silver, and alive with light. They didn't look like any known design. The ships moved like predators, fast and silent. "Contact!" "Multiple hostiles!" Someone shouted. Before Rian could give an order, beams of light cut through space, tearing 2 of his escort ships apart. The rest scattered. The Argos dived toward the planet's shadow, trying to hide behind its burning atmosphere. "Who are they?" the officer asked, shaking. Rian's eyes narrowed. "No idea, but they came prepared." What followed was chaos. Reports flooded in from across the sector: attacks on outposts, destroyed fleets, missing civilians. Whoever the enemy was, they didn't negotiate, didn't send demands. They simply erased everything human. The war had begun. Within weeks, the alien fleet spread like a storm. The humans called them the Varen. No one knew what they wanted. Some said they were cleansing the galaxy. Others whispered that they were searching for something or someone. Then, for the first time in the war, a Varen ship was captured. It was damaged after a fierce battle near Mars. The boarding crew expected resistance. Instead, they found only one survivor, an alien woman with pale silver skin, long white hair, and golden eyes that glowed faintly, even in the dark. She didn't fight. She just looked at them with calm curiosity, like she was studying them. When they tried to ask her name, she only said one thing in perfect English: "The Queen will not forgive this." That night, Captain Rian couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about those words. Why would a queen send her people into a war with humans? What did she want? The alien woman was placed in a high-security facility. Scientists examined her, but she refused to speak again. Only once, when Rian visited her alone, did she whisper something more. "You don't understand what's coming. The Queen thinks humans are dangerous." Rian frowned. Dangerous? To who? The alien's golden eyes met his. "To everyone." Her voice was soft, but it carried a strange sadness. Before he could ask anything else, alarms blared. The facility was under attack. Varen ships had found them. Explosions shook the ground. The alien woman looked at Rian one last time. "Run, human," she said. "Run before it's too late." He dragged her out of the cell, not knowing why. Maybe it was instinct, maybe something else. As fire rained from the sky, Rian and the alien woman escaped into the night, leaving behind the burning ruins of Earth's last research base. That night, humanity realized the truth. This was no simple war. It was something older, deeper. A storm born from secrets no one could yet understand. And in the middle of that storm, Captain Rian Holt was about to uncover something that would change the galaxy forever. Asterisk. The night sky burned with fire as Captain Rian Holt and the alien woman ran across the shattered base. Explosions echoed behind them. The ground trembled with each strike. Smoke filled the air, making it hard to breathe. Rian didn't know where he was running to. He only knew that staying meant death. The alien woman moved beside him, fast and graceful. Her silver hair glowing faintly, even through the darkness. When they reached a small shuttle bay, Rian saw one ship still intact, a small escape vessel half buried in debris. He forced the hatch open, motioning her inside. "Get in, move!" The alien woman hesitated for a moment, looking back at the burning base. "They will follow you," she said quietly. Rian gave a tired laugh. "They already are." He jumped into the pilot's seat, hit the ignition, and the engines roared to life. The shuttle blasted off, just as another explosion ripped through the hangar below. From orbit, the view was heartbreaking. The once beautiful research facility now glowed like a dying star. Rian clenched his fists. Thousands of people down there. He whispered. The alien woman turned her golden eyes toward him. "War doesn't care about numbers, human. The Queen believes this is necessary." Rian turned sharply to face her. "Necessary? You call this massacre necessary?" Her expression didn't change, but her voice grew quieter. "If she fears your kind." "Yes," Rian frowned, scanning her face. "You said she thinks humans are dangerous. Why?" For the first time she looked uncertain. "Because humans break rules that no other species dares to touch." He stared at her. "What does that even mean?" Before she could answer, the ship's console beeped. A message was being transmitted directly to them from an unknown source. Rian hesitated, then opened it. A holographic image appeared above the dashboard. It was a woman or something like one. Tall, regal, with the same pale skin and glowing eyes. Wearing a crown of living light. "The Queen," the alien whispered. The hologram turned its head slightly, and her gaze locked on Rian. "Human," she said softly, her voice echoing like thunder wrapped in silk. "You have taken what belongs to me." Rian felt a chill crawl up his spine. "I didn't take anyone. I saved her." The Queen's eyes narrowed. "Saved her? You call this saving running from your own destruction?" Rian stepped forward. "Your people attacked us without reason." "Why?" The Queen's tone turned grave. "Because humans were never meant to exist. You are an accident. A danger that must be contained." Rian's jaw tightened. "We built peace. We built alliances. We've never threatened anyone." The Queen tilted her head. "And yet, every empire that meets your kind ends the same way: changed, divided, or destroyed. You are unpredictable. You form bonds too easily. Even my own warriors are not safe from your influence." The alien woman beside Rian lowered her gaze, silent. The Queen's eyes shifted toward her. "You bonded with him, didn't you?" Rian glanced at her, confused. "Bonded? What is she talking about?" The Queen's voice grew colder. "Do not pretend ignorance. You know what your heart feels, even if your mind denies it." The alien woman shook her head. "It wasn't a bond. It was survival." The Queen's image flickered with faint anger. "No, my child. It was more. I can feel it." Rian looked between them. "What's going on here? What kind of bond?" Neither answered. The Queen's hologram stared at him one last time. "The human is yours now, isn't he?" she said softly. "Then you have sealed your fate." The transmission ended abruptly. The shuttle fell into silence, only the hum of the engines filling the air. Rian turned to the alien woman. "You'd better start explaining." She looked out the window at the stars. "Our kind doesn't form emotional bonds like yours. It's forbidden." But when I looked into your mind, I saw something we've never seen before. Hope. It's contagious. Rian blinked, trying to process her words. You saw into my mind? I had to, she said simply. It's how we communicate. But when I did, something changed. I can feel your thoughts now. Your emotions. It's like they became mine. Rian rubbed his temples. So you're saying we're connected? She nodded slowly. Yes, and that connection will destroy us both. Before he could respond, the radar flashed red again, Varen pursuers closing in. Rian sighed. We'll argue about this later. He grabbed the controls, pulling the shuttle into a sharp dive toward a nearby moon. Behind them, beams of light streaked through the darkness. The chase had begun again, but now, something far more dangerous than the war itself was forming a bond between a human and an alien that could change the fate of two entire species. And far away, in the depths of her crystal palace, the alien queen watched silently, her expression unreadable. She whispered to herself, so the rumors are true. The shuttle dived through clouds of gray dust as enemy fire chased it. Sparks flashed across the hull, and alarms screamed in every direction. Captain Rian gripped the controls tightly, forcing the ship toward the surface of a small moon that shimmered with ice and rock. Hold on, he shouted. The alien woman sat beside him, eyes glowing faintly as she braced herself. The shuttle broke through the thin atmosphere and hit the ground hard, sliding across frozen stone until it crashed into a canyon wall. The impact threw both of them forward. Silence followed. Only the sound of cooling metal filled the air. Rian groaned, unstrapping himself. You still alive? She nodded weakly. Alive, not unharmed. A streak of silver blood ran down her arm. Rian looked around the shattered cockpit. We're not going anywhere soon. The engines are gone. Outside, the world was quiet, no sign of pursuit, only the pale light of a distant sun reflecting on cracked ice. Strange blue mist rose from the ground, curling like smoke around their feet. Rian stepped out carefully, blaster in hand. The air was thin but breathable. The alien followed him, wrapping a piece of torn fabric around her wound. What is this place? He asked. She looked at the horizon. A forgotten moon. My people abandoned worlds like this long ago. Rian frowned. Why? Her voice was distant. Because they hold memories we wish to forget. They found shelter inside a ruined structure buried beneath the ice, old and alien, with walls that glowed faintly when touched. Inside, strange markings covered the surfaces, pulsing with gentle light. Rian brushed his fingers over them. These symbols. They're alive. They remember, she said quietly. Every Varen world holds its own memory. Rian turned to her. Then maybe these memories can tell us why your queen fears us. The alien woman hesitated, then reached out and placed her hand beside his. The wall lit up brighter, spreading light across the room. Images appeared, ghostly shapes, old battles, faces of different species. Rian watched in awe. These are your history? She nodded. The Varen were once explorers. We traveled everywhere, learning, creating life. But then we found something we couldn't control. What was it? Humans. Rian froze. That's impossible. Humans evolved on Earth. You couldn't have. Her eyes glowed brighter. We didn't create you. But we discovered you before your kind discovered the stars. The Queen saw potential and danger. Humans grow faster than any race. You adapt. You form emotions, connections, love. Things we had long forgotten. Rian took a step back. You mean, you've been watching us all this time? Yes, at first from curiosity. But when humans began to spread beyond their world, the Queen grew afraid. She believed your nature would infect others, that your way of bonding, of feeling, could destroy order. Rian looked at her sharply. And you believe that too? She shook her head slowly. I didn't, not anymore. For a long moment, they stood in silence. The glowing walls flickered softly, reflecting their faces side by side. Two beings from different worlds, trapped together in a place filled with old ghosts. Rian sat down, tired. So this war, all of it, started because your queen was afraid of love? The alien woman looked down. Afraid of change. A faint rumble shook the ground beneath them. Dust fell from the ceiling. Rian jumped up, aiming his blaster. What now? She reached out with her senses, eyes closing. Not ships. Something alive. From the dark tunnel beyond the chamber, a deep growl echoed. Shadows moved tall, thin creatures with glowing blue veins crawling over their translucent skin. They moved fast, their limbs sharp like blades. Rian whispered, "Friends of yours?" She shook her head. "Old guardians. They protect the memories." The creatures screeched and rushed forward. Rian fired, bright bursts of energy lighting the cavern. One creature fell. Another kept coming. The alien raised her hands, a circle of light forming around her. The ground trembled, and the remaining beasts froze in place, bound by invisible force. Her eyes burned gold as she whispered words in her language. The creatures slowly backed away into the shadows, disappearing. When it was over, she fell to her knees, weak. Rian caught her before she hit the ground. Hey, easy." She breathed heavily. "That took too much." Rian helped her sit against the wall. "You just saved both of us." She gave a faint smile. "You sound surprised. I thought your people didn't care about saving humans." Her gaze softened. "Maybe I'm different now." Outside, the sky began to darken. Rian looked out the doorway. "We'll stay here for the night. In the morning, we'll find a way to send a signal." She nodded weakly. "Rian, if the Queen finds us again, she will not show mercy." He looked at her, determination in his eyes. "Then she'll have to get through me first." The alien's expression changed, something between sorrow and admiration. "You don't understand what that means. When the bond forms completely, one of us will not survive it." Rian stared at her, confused, but before he could speak, thunder rolled across the icy valley. The Queen's fleet had found their location not far above. In the cold black of space, the Queen's voice whispered through the static. "Run, little human. Run while you still can." The hunt wasn't over. It had only just begun. The cold wind howled through the broken canyon as the night grew darker. Captain Rian Holt checked the radar again. Red dots were moving closer. The Varan fleet was already in orbit. "They found us," he muttered. The alien woman stood beside him, her silver hair shining faintly in the darkness. "She never gives up," she said quietly. Rian looked at her. "Then we don't stop either." He helped her to her feet and led her back to the shuttle wreck. It was still broken, but the power core was intact. Rian started working fast, using wires and panels to create a small transmitter. "If I can boost a signal through this, maybe a human patrol can pick it up." The alien tilted her head. "Do you really think your people will come for you?" He smiled faintly. "I'd come for them." Her eyes softened for a moment. "That's what makes your kind dangerous," she whispered. Before Rian could reply, a flash of light exploded across the sky. Varan drop pods began falling through the atmosphere, burning like meteors. They landed across the valley, shaking the frozen ground. Rian grabbed his blaster. "We've got company." Within minutes, dark figures emerged from the mist, tall soldiers in silver armor, their eyes glowing with the same golden light as the Queen. They moved silently. Weapons ready. Rian hid behind a rock, motioning for the alien woman to stay low. "How many?" he asked. "Too many," she said softly. "They are shadows, the Queen's personal guard." Rian cursed under his breath. "Great. The shadows spread out, scanning the wreckage. One of them stopped near the shuttle's broken hull and turned his head slowly, sensing movement. Rian took a deep breath, aimed, and fired. The beam hit the soldier's chest. It staggered but didn't fall. "They're shielded." Rian shouted. The alien woman closed her eyes, her voice calm. "Then we use something stronger." She lifted her hand, and the ground beneath the shadows began to glow. A pulse of golden energy erupted outward, throwing several soldiers back. The others regrouped quickly, forming a wall of light. They fired, beams cutting through the mist. Rian pulled her behind cover. "You can't fight them all." She shook her head. "I'm not fighting them. I'm buying you time." Before he could argue, she stepped out into the open, her aura glowing brighter than before. The shadows froze for a moment. Even they hesitated before one of their own kind. "Stand down," she commanded. Her voice echoed across the valley. "You will not touch him." One of the shadows spoke, voice mechanical. "You are bonded. The Queen has declared you lost." The alien woman's face hardened. "Then tell her this. I'm done being her weapon." The soldiers raised their arms again, preparing to fire. But before they could, the sky cracked with thunder. A massive explosion erupted above them, a human destroyer breaking through the atmosphere. Rian's heart jumped. "That's an Earthship." The alien turned, watching the bright vessel descend. "You called them?" He grinned. "Told you I'd find a way." The destroyer opened fire, beams of energy cutting through the Varan troops. The shadows scattered, retreating into the mist. For the first time in hours, the silence returned. Rian ran to the alien woman, who looked weaker now, her glow fading. "You okay?" She nodded slowly. "Your people came. Because you believed they would." Rian smiled. "That's what we do." A landing craft descended from the destroyer. Soldiers in black armor rushed out, surrounding them. Rian waved his arm. "Friendly. Don't shoot." The commander stepped forward. "Captain Holt? We thought you were dead." "Almost," Rian said. "We need medical for her." The soldiers hesitated, staring at the alien woman. "She's Varan. Command will want her in custody." Rian shook his head. "She's with me." The commander frowned. "Sir, she's the enemy." Rian's tone hardened. "Not anymore." After a tense moment, the commander nodded. "Understood. Get them aboard." As they flew back toward the ship, Rian looked down at the frozen moon below. It seemed quiet again, hiding the secrets they had just uncovered. The alien woman leaned weakly against him. "You shouldn't protect me," she said softly. "Your people will never trust me." Rian looked out at the stars. "Maybe not now. But they will." In orbit, the human destroyer docked them inside. As they stepped off the landing craft, Rian noticed how everyone stared at her, the glowing eyes, the strange beauty, the silent grace. He whispered, "Don't worry. I've got you." She smiled faintly. "That's what I'm afraid of." Before Rian could ask why, the lights on the ship flickered. The alien woman's eyes widened. "She's here." Rian turned sharply. "The Queen?" The air filled with static. A deep hum vibrated through the ship. Then, through every speaker, came the same cold, calm voice that haunted them both. "You think you can hide from me, human? You carry my daughter, and my mistake." Everyone froze. The alien woman lowered her head. "She knows." Rian stared at her. "Daughter?" She looked at him sadly. "I told you the truth would destroy us both." The lights went red. The Queen's fleet was approaching fast. The humans were about to face a power they didn't understand, and Rian was standing in the center of it. Asterisk. The red warning lights flashed through every corridor of the human destroyer. Sirens howled, and the crew ran to battle stations. Outside the windows, The dark shape of the Varan fleet appeared, massive ships glowing with golden fire. Captain Rian Holt stood on the command deck, staring at the screen. How did they find us so fast? The alien woman stood beside him, her pale skin shimmering faintly under the emergency lights. She can feel me, she said softly. Where I go, she follows. Rian turned to her. You mean your queen? She nodded. My mother. The room went silent. Even the sound of the alarm seemed to fade for a moment. Rian took a step closer. You never said you were her daughter. I didn't think it mattered, she said quietly. Now it does. The commander of the ship, a tall woman named Vargas, turned sharply. Captain, we can't fight that many ships. We'll be destroyed before we reach light speed. Rian clenched his fists. Then we find another way. We can't let her take. He looked at the alien woman. Take either of us. The alien lowered her eyes. You can't stop her, Rian. She commands energy older than your entire race. Maybe, he said, but I'm still going to try. Outside, the Varan ships began to form a circle. Energy gathered between them, a golden sphere growing brighter and brighter. The Queen's voice echoed through every radio channel, every speaker, every piece of metal in the ship. Human, she said. You think courage will save you. But courage without understanding is only noise. Rian stared at the holographic display as her image appeared again, tall, calm, her eyes filled with power. Return my daughter, she said softly, or I will end every soul on that ship. Rian stepped forward. You started this war. You attacked innocent people. If you want peace, stop this madness. The Queen's gaze softened. Peace cannot exist with your kind. You infect others with hope. You make them dream. And dreams break empires. Rian's voice rose. Then maybe your empire needs to break. The Queen looked at him long and hard. You speak like someone who has forgotten his place in the universe. Behind him, the alien woman whispered, Mother, please. Listen to me. The Queen turned her gaze to her daughter. You bonded with him. That bond cannot be undone. Rian looked confused. You keep saying that. What does it mean? The alien woman looked at him sadly. It means our lives are connected now. If one of us dies, the other will too. The Queen nodded slowly. Now you see my problem, human. If I destroy you, I destroy her. But if I let you live, she will never be the same again. Rian's voice dropped. So what happens now? The Queen raised her hand. The light around her image pulsed brighter. Now, I separate you. Suddenly, the ship shook violently. A beam of golden light pierced through the hull, hitting the deck below. Rian fell to his knees. The alien woman screamed as light surrounded her, lifting her off the ground. Stop! Rian shouted, reaching for her. The energy burned his hand, but he didn't let go. You'll kill her. The Queen's voice was cold. She will survive. You will not. Rian gritted his teeth. Then we both die. Something inside the alien woman's snapped light exploded from her chest, bright enough to blind the entire bridge. The Queen's projection flickered, her calm face breaking into shock. No. It's not possible, the Queen whispered. When the light faded, the alien woman was kneeling on the floor, shaking. The golden beam was gone. The Queen's image had vanished. Rian ran to her side. Hey, talk to me. What just happened? Her voice was weak. I broke the link. For now. But it won't last. She's still connected to my mind. She knows what I feel. Rian helped her stand. Then we'll stay ahead of her. She looked into his eyes. You still don't understand. The bond, it's growing stronger. Every time I use my power, it connects us deeper. Soon, you'll start feeling it too. Rian gave a small, tired smile. Then at least we'll face her together. Before she could respond, Vargas shouted from the control panel. "Captain, the Queen's fleet is regrouping. They're charging another weapon." Rian turned to the crew. "Prepare to jump to light speed." Vargas hesitated. "Sir, the core is unstable. One wrong move and will explode." Rian looked at the alien woman, then back at the stars. "If we stay, we die anyway." "Do it." The ship began to shake again as power surged through its engines. Alarms blared louder. The alien woman reached for Rian's hand, her voice trembling. "If this is the end, I'm glad I met you." He squeezed her hand gently. "It's not the end." "Not yet." The destroyer glowed blue, engines roaring, then vanished into the darkness just as the Queen's weapon fired. The beam hit empty space, leaving only silence behind. Far away, aboard her flagship, the alien Queen stared at the fading stars. For the first time in centuries, doubt flickered in her golden eyes. She whispered to herself, "He changed her. Just as I feared." Then her voice grew cold again. "Find them, no matter where they run." The human destroyer drifted through deep space, its engines barely alive after the light-speed jump. Sparks flickered across the dark control panels. Smoke curled in the air. Most of the crew was unconscious. Only Captain Rian Holt and the alien woman were still standing. Rian leaned against the console, breathing heavily. "We made it, I think." The alien woman's eyes glowed faintly as she looked through the cracked window. "For now." But she's still searching. I can feel her mind. Close, Rian turned to her. "Then we find a place she can't reach." She shook her head. "There is no such place. Not while the bond exists." He stepped closer. "Then we break it." Her gaze was sad. "To break it, one of us must die." Rian fell silent. The room hummed softly. He finally said, "Then we'll find another way." Before she could answer, the ship's computer beeped weakly. A massive energy signal was approaching. The Queen's fleet had found them again. Rian slammed his fist on the console. "She just won't stop." The alien woman closed her eyes, whispering, "She can't. The bond connects us. My life is like a beacon to her." He looked at her, determination burning in his eyes. "Then maybe we use that against her." Minutes later, the Queen's flagship appeared larger than any human city, covered in shining armor and golden light. It stopped in front of the damaged destroyer like a mountain floating in the void. The Queen's image appeared again, filling the bridge with her cold presence. "You've run far enough," she said. Rian stood tall, even as the floor trembled. "If you want her, you'll have to take both of us." The Queen's golden eyes softened for just a second. "You don't understand what she's become. The bond is not love, it is corruption. It spreads. It changes her nature." The alien woman stepped forward. "You're wrong, Mother. It's not corruption. It's connection. It's what we lost long ago." The Queen's voice grew sharp. "Connection makes us weak." Rian shook his head. "No, it makes us alive." The Queen's eyes glowed brighter. "Enough. If you won't surrender her, then both of you will fall." The flagship's core began to hum. Beams of golden light formed outside, aimed directly at the destroyer. Rian looked at the alien woman. "You said the bond connects you both. Can it reach her?" Her eyes widened as she understood his plan. "Yes. But if I open it, she see everything inside me. It could kill me." Rian took her hand. "Then let's make it count." She nodded slowly, closing her eyes. Light began to rise from her body, soft, white, and pure. Rian felt it too, like warmth spreading through his chest. The ship's walls shook as energy pulsed between them, then out into space. The Queen's fleet froze mid-attack. The Queen herself gasped. She felt her daughter's thoughts, her memories, and the human's emotions: pain, hope, love, sacrifice, For the first time, the Queen felt something she had forgotten long ago: human emotion. She stumbled back in shock. The golden light around her crown flickered. What is this feeling? Her daughter's voice echoed in her mind. It's what you feared, Mother. It's what makes us stronger. The Queen tried to resist, but her power began to unravel. The golden energy turned white, spreading through the fleet like fire. One by one, her ships dimmed and went silent. Inside the human destroyer, Rian held on tightly as the light consumed everything around them. "Don't let go," he shouted. The alien woman smiled softly through the glow. "I won't." Then there was silence. When the light faded, the stars returned. The Varan fleet was gone. Only debris floated in the dark. The Queen's voice echoed faintly, soft and distant. "Perhaps I was wrong." Rian blinked, his body heavy, his vision blurred. He looked beside him. The alien woman lay still, her silver hair floating in the air, her skin dim. "No," he whispered, kneeling beside her. "Stay with me." Her eyes opened weakly. "It's over, Rian. She's gone. The bond is fading." He shook his head. "We made it through worse. You'll live." She smiled faintly. "Humans always believe in impossible things." Rian laughed softly, tears in his eyes. "Yeah, we do." She reached up, her hand brushing his cheek. "Thank you for showing me what it means to feel." And then, her hand fell gently to the floor. The light in her eyes faded away. Rian sat there in silence for a long time, holding her hand as the stars drifted by. The war was over, but it had cost him everything. Later, when rescue ships finally arrived, they found the captain of the Argos sitting beside a silent figure of silver light. He didn't move until dawn broke across the void. As he looked out into space one last time, he whispered softly, "The rumors were true. She really did bond with the human." The stars shimmered quietly, as if listening. And somewhere, deep in the galaxy, a faint golden light flickered once more, as if a heart had begun to beat again.